back to another episode of A Real But Not So Real podcast. I'm your host, Jarrett Grisham, and I'm joined by these guys, the brothers.
We're all hosts. We're all hosts.
Co-hosts.
We're all co-hosting. Yeah.
Coasting.
Not like the way you said that.
Hey, what's your name, buddy?
I'm Judd, otherwise known as Bag.
I've never called him Bag ever.
I've never even heard of that.
I've never called you Bag. We'll never call you Bag.
No.
No, people call me that.
Nah.
People.
All right. I'm Jonah.
Jonah.
I'm Jake. Let's just keep it simple. First names.
Yeah, first name basis.
Yeah.
And, we're here. We're talking about movies. This is what we love to do. So, today we have a pretty spectacular movie. It's called We Bought a Zoo. And, it's going to be fun.
We bought a zoo.
Yes, we did.
I saw this at Harkins Theater when it came out. I went with some friends in high school, and it was down in Bricktown on the Riverwalk.
Wow.
It was great.
Man, that place has gone down, huh?
Yeah,
it's really. I'm like, oh, you went to Harkins.
Yeah. I haven't been to a movie, though, in a long time, so
Yeah.
it's crazy. Harkins, sad,
Harkins.
but good memes. Kind of like this movie.
2011. What were you doing in 2011?
Dude,
I was
when
going
this
to
movie came
Harkins.
out?
I was going to Harkins to see movies.
2011.
I was 14.
I was 5.
Much younger than 14.
I was 11 years old, dude. I was thinking about how I was going to kill this kid.
Holy
Maybe.
Feels like we need to pause there for a minute.
You want to talk about this? I don't.
Yeah, dude. I just remember my 11th birthday, I just hated this one kid. I can't even remember his name now. Grant. I hated Grant so much.
What was his last name? Maybe we could find him
I
through
don't
this
wanna give
podcast.
Yeah.
I don't want to get that out there, but
Not two or three viewers.
he knows who he is. Yeah.
Us three. Or us four. Our four
Yeah.
viewers. Viewers.
Well, we have
And
6
that-
because
and
I
that
watched
side
it
of the
on
family.
every single account of mine.
You got burner accounts for you too. Okay, this movie had a budget of $50 million, which,
50
going
million.
back to Secret Life of Walter Mitty, it is $40 million less in budget, which is kind of surprising to me.
Wow.
Yeah,
'Cause
that
I
is
thought that was
crazy.
low, but this is actually insanely low.
Yeah. But if you think about it, they only have like two
Locations.
locations.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's true.
All
Yeah.
you gotta do, I don't know how much a tiger costs, but
Yeah,
a couple of tigers, lion,
tigers and lions. bear.
kangaroos. Actually, they used the same shot of the kangaroo twice.
Oh, nice.
So I was like,
I didn't know
wow, you
that.
guys are really
Good eye.
You got a good eye for those roofs. And then the U.S. box office of $75.6 million. So, pretty good. They did pretty good.
It made $75 million?
Yeah.
That's it.
Opening weekend.
Man, I would have thought it made more. That movie got a lot of traction. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like that's a
just
classic
in
for a
the
lot
U-
of
that's
people.
just in the U.S.
It's just okay. I
Not
mean, still.
Canada, Canadian,
Oh, okay.
or Europe.
I
That's
mean,
just
Matt
US.
guess.
Matt Damon and Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, well, this was
bunch of names
before
in there.
Scarlett Johansson was super big.
Yeah, this was before Avengers.
yeah.
Yeah.
Avengers came out in the next year.
Yeah, she would have been a name though. Still,
Yeah.
like so that
Yeah,
I bet,
for
and
sure.
honestly, I bet that's where that 50 million went was probably to those two because there's not a ton of other like there's really no names other than them.
Thomas Hayden Church.
Yeah.
He's a name.
Yeah, he is a name.
But he's
yeah,
the
you're
only
right.
guy, and he's got limited scenes. But
Yeah.
True. But yeah, based on a true story, it was created. The zoo was created in the 1960s as a private exotic animal collection, and then it fell into disrepair and was threatened with closure in 2006. And then along came the Mee family, right?
Wow,
Just
I didn't
saving this zoo.
I didn't know. So it was private. It
It
wasn't
was-
open to the public.
Well,
It,
it was privately owned. It wasn't like most zoos are owned by the state.
yeah,
Wow.
this was like
Okay.
but it was open. To
It's
the
like
public.
Joe Exotic.
Yeah, Tiger King reference. Yeah.
Yeah.
Privately owned, open to the public. But
Gotcha.
yeah, directed by Cameron Crowe. I bet you guys don't know who that is, or
What else has he done?
It's a
Oh,
she.
what hasn't
Oh.
she? What hasn't she done?
You
is a
guys
better
know
question.
one movie, and it was only because I knew it. But it's well, Say Anything, maybe. Say Anything.
Rom com.
She's a big rom com.
Oh,
I don't know that.
Jerry Maguire, Vanilla Sky. Those are
Okay.
Tom Cruise movies, and then Elizabeth Town. Anybody know Elizabeth?
Yeah.
Town?
Sure.
Yeah.
That's Orlando Bloom.
That's Orlando Bloom. That's the movie like Mom loves. Like she loves Elizabeth Allen. I thought it was so funny.
I love Orlando Bloom.
I do too.
Oh.
Great. Okay, just watch the movie. It's about the guy who like does the video game sim racing cars.
Ready Player One.
Tron.
Is it ready?
No, we're talking about Talladega Nights.
No. Okay. We'll scratch this. But one of the writers was actually the real Benjamin Mee. He was like a writer and author and all that stuff. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Music by John Thor Ferguson. He did the music for How to Train Your Dragon 1 through 3.
Wow.
Dang,
I
that's
thought that was pretty cool.
What a resume.
The music in this movie was just made me cry.
It really
Man.
did hit.
I cried one time in this movie.
What time was that?
Uh,
We'll get to that.
Spoilers.
But yeah, runtime of 2 hours 4 minutes,
Long movie.
and
Yeah.
it felt kind of long.
yeah. It is a slow build too.
Yeah.
Like that first 30 minutes is a
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but it won the BMI of Film and Music Award.
body mass index. BMI.
BMI, that's body mass index. Yes.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's.
Oh, okay.
I think it stands. I don't know what BMI stands for.
uh,
Big.
Big movie index.
Yeah, there you go. Matt Damon and Scarlett Johansson were both nominated for Teen Choice Awards for Best Actor and Actress. He's our Google guy, okay? What's it stand for?
Broadcast Music Inc.
Incorporated.
Incorporated.
Inc.
Honoring songwriters, composers, and music publishers in various genres. So it won for its music.
Does anybody know what won the most awards, like the most Oscars for the year 2011? Just a wild guess.
Like what movie?
Yeah, do you want to look at it? You just do.
I know that this isn't it, but Captain America: The First Avenger came out.
No.
They don't win Oscars though.
2011. No, it didn't win Oscar. I'm just trying to place myself.
Okay, yeah.
With movies of 2011.
I don't know.
The Lorax.
The Artist. If you've ever seen The Artist,
No.
it's a great film. Great film. According
Have
to
you
Fox-
seen it?
Hey.
Okay.
I
have
assume
no
it's a great
clue.
film.
I don't know.
It won
I've
all
never
these
heard of
awards.
The Artist though.
I've never heard of it once.
I don't think I've watched
Obviously,
one
it's
that's like
great.
won all those awards because those movies.
No. It's always something like The Sound of Water or something.
Yeah.
Who watches that movie?
And the music under the bridge.
Is that real?
The
No.
Artist.
Oh, okay. Well,
But
mine
you, yeah, you're supposed. Yeah.
okay.
As far as gross
No,
sales
but-
for the year of 2011, do you know what movie won?
No,
It's a different movie.
I have a pretty good idea.
Because you just stared at
Oh.
it for fun.
Well, actually, I was talking about
Pirates of the Caribbean.
No.
close.
Yes.
Harry Potter. Was it a Harry Potter movie?
Yeah, it was
Okay. I was like, I think that was
the
the.
Deathly Hallows.
Yeah, I was like, I think that was the.
That was a great movie. I was actually discussing my house this morning. Well, what house I'm in Hogwarts.
Oh, I was like, where are you moving?
What are you off the rip?
Gryffindor.
I don't know what I am.
I haven't seen the Harry Potter movies.
Well, those will be on this list.
Yeah, I'm
Alright.
excited to get into franchises.
Yeah.
Okay, other movies that came out the same year, kind of like scary because it made me feel like I'm old. Reference movie Courageous. Do you remember
Oh, wow.
Courageous?
That is a sad movie.
That's just a
Intense.
reference movie.
Hmm.
Who can name like 3 other movies?
In 2011?
Well, Captain
Besides-
America:
yeah.
The First Avenger.
There's one.
I have no idea.
Star Trek. There was a Star Trek in 2011. Had to be.
Star Trek is a no. I think it's okay.
We can't forget about The Artist.
The Artist.
That's
the
a big one.
biggest movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, he won 5 Oscars.
Inception.
I don't think no.
Was there an Ice Age movie?
No.
Oh, I feel like that would have.
would've been a good.
Yeah,
I
because
think
that was like
Disney.
the era.
I think Disney. 2011. That's
It was so long ago, guys.
that was so long ago. Is there a Disney movie on this list?
I mean, yeah. But okay.
Give us some. Yeah, give us some.
I'll name some that are pretty noteworthy. So you got Mr. Popper's Penguins. You got Crazy Stupid Love, which I thought was
yeah.
insane.
Wow.
You got Twilight
crazy.
Breaking Dawn, Super 8. Y'all remember that movie?
I do remember
Super,
that.
was a
Yeah,
good film.
Baymax.
Steven Spielberg.
Yeah. Romeo and Juliet. I love that movie. It's like animated. I love it. Mission Impossible: Ghost Protocol, which is a great movie. Tron Legacy, Kung Fu Panda 2, Soul Surfer, and Arthur Christmas.
Wild.
Arthur
Nice.
Hey, that's a pretty solid year for movies.
It is. It is.
All right.
Didn't you say Tron earlier?
He did.
Yeah.
That's one of the movies?
Yeah, the racing.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
They're all got
But,
to race on them beams of light.
Yeah. Pretty insane.
Pretty insane.
Love it.
Cool.
Back to We Bought a Zoo. A couple fun facts entering the spoiler section. And
Spoilers.
We're gonna spoil this movie that's been out for 13 years.
drink my Diet Coke.
If you haven't seen it, go watch it and come back and watch it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Boy.
Some other possible actors instead of Matt Damon: Tom Cruise, Leonardo DiCaprio, and also Benjamin Mee himself were all considered for the main role.
Oh.
That would have been a lot.
I can't imagine.
Oh, and Ben Stiller.
Ben Stiller.
He was starred in our previous episode.
It's true. But those are some fun facts.
Those were really fun.
One fun fact.
I'm having fun.
One
I have
fun
a
fact.
fun fact that's kind of an Easter egg.
Spill the beans.
No.
Spill.
Benjamin Mee is in this film.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, he's the main character.
The real Benjamin Mee.
Oh.
It's
Okay,
just-
so
That's cool. That's cool. That's
Benjamin
cool.
Mee is a bald guy, so at what point? Yeah. Does he go to? Is it at the zoo? Like when they're at the zoo at the end?
We'll get into it.
We'll get into it. So now we're entering our initial thoughts section where we go around with our initial thoughts. We will start.
Here's
None
my
other
initial
than-
thoughts. I have nothing.
Initial thoughts. Blank.
Blank.
And honestly, yeah.
My initial thoughts are this is I do not, when I was 14 and I was at Harkins Theater on the Riverwalk in Bricktown, I do not remember this movie being this sad. I'm crying through this whole movie when Jude and I were watching it last night. It really hit me hard. It was pretty powerful, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah.
What about you, Bag?
Oh. Well,
Why would you be called Bag?
Judd the Bag Clint,
All right.
making money, bagging bleep.
Clips.
Anybody else just cringe?
Yeah,
I
I
was
want to
not
bury
given- I
myself
was
under
given
a
that
pile of
nickname.
rocks.
I was given that nickname. I don't.
You claim it.
I claim it, but it's also it's my given nickname.
Okay.
Yeah. So
We Bought a Zoo.
yes, but you brought it. You brought the bag coming up, so you can't get mad at me when I'm just defending my point when you bring it up. Anyway, this movie is sad. It's always had a special place in my heart. This was my favorite movie when I was 15.
Yeah.
And the first time I ever watched this movie, I actually watched it again the next night because I thought that the girl was hot.
Which girl?
Kelly? Surely not.
Scarlett Johansson?
Yeah.
I mean-
Kelly or Lily?
Probably were into Lily, weren't you?
Choose your words carefully here. We are all 18 or above.
Well, at the time.
Well,
you
Yeah, at
were-
the time. Yes,
This is,
my bad.
this is
My bad.
2011.
Yeah.
My bad,
Also-
dog.
But no, I'm talking. Well, yes, I thought Kelly was hot. I think Scarlett Johansson is beautiful. I'll say that for free.
So does Benjamin Mee.
Yes.
Hmm.
But yeah, at the time it was Lily because she was my age.
Yeah, makes sense.
They really, I'll
Yeah.
say this, they really portray homeschoolers in a poor fashion.
Yeah.
Boy, do they.
Yeah.
Very poor.
Being homeschooled, it was tough to watch. Tough to take some of the hits we took.
Yeah.
What do you
Yeah.
mean? I thought she was cheesy. She was corny.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's what
It was. Some of those moments were pretty painful, but
It's true.
Yeah.
She's looking for love at the age of 13, man. It's pretty brutal.
okay, I was confused on that because they say that she's what's his name? Dylan.
We can call him Dill. We can call him Dill.
Let's call
Oh,
him
I've
Dill.
got so many nicknames for him. You
Dill
guys
Pickle.
give them all away. He said that she was 12,
Well,
and he's 14.
here's the thing: is that is coming from his sarcastic personality, like his, you know.
Yeah.
She is actually 13.
All right.
Dylan is 14, and then Lily is 7.
He's trying.
Rosie.
Who's the Lily? Lily's the girl.
Lily is 13.
Yeah, Rosie's a 7-year-old girl who's made this movie.
Yes.
Rosie's the best part of this movie.
Well,
She carries the early part. Like those first 30 minutes, she
Yeah.
carries that movie.
Yep.
Oh.
For sure.
But yeah, on that note, I thought the cast was chosen to perfection. I mean,
Yeah.
There wasn't really a character that stood out to me that was just you are so cringy, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But well, Lily. But now, as an actress, she is thriving. What's her name?
Lily.
Anya Taylor-Joy.
No, Ellie Fanning.
Ellie-
Fanning.
oh,
And
yeah.
she's been in so many things now,
Looks the exact same.
dude.
She actually does look the exact same. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
So much. Can't find anything. But yeah, I thought they were really well picked and everything. The cast, I mean, you got Matt Damon, Scarlett Johansson, Thomas Hayden Church, the Duncan, the brother.
He was my favorite part of this movie, I think.
Yeah, J.B. Smooth, the
Yeah,
realtor.
yeah. But the realtor.
He was good, man.
He's funny.
Oh my gosh, John Michael Higgins, the guy from Kevin Almighty.
Oh yeah.
He's in
the
that.
Walter Ferris.
Yeah, Walter Ferris. And then Kim Whitley. Y'all know who that is?
Who's
Cashier at Home Depot.
Oh, yeah. She's in a bunch of stuff.
She's in a ton of
Which
stuff.
one? We all watched a movie. What movie?
College
was it?
Road Trip.
College Road Trip.
She's-
She was the
Oh.
mom, dude.
Yeah.
What were you thinking of? Something.
I don't want to say.
Okay.
There's a scene in New Girl, the show New Girl, that she is in.
It's just
like- It's like, I can't even remember if this is the episode, but there's one where it's a flashback to when Nick and Winston are in high school, and she's in that episode. I'm making this sound way weirder than it needs to be, but that's what I'm thinking of.
Great show.
Correct you.
Shout out.
Yeah.
Shout out.
Love
Think-
Jake Johnson.
Good guy. Great guy.
JJ.
Just alright of a dude.
We bought a zoo. I thought you learned everything you needed to know about this Mee family in the first 15 minutes. Mom died.
Oh yeah. Oh, in the
Yeah.
first 5 minutes.
Yeah, it was pretty impactful.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I guess there's only one thing left to do, you know?
Are y'all ready for this?
I think I'm ready for it.
Sometimes all you need is 20 seconds of insane courage. Just 20 seconds of embarrassing bravery, and I promise you, something good will come of it.
Something great. He says something great. I've got it right here.
All right.
Great is better
Did you
than
spill
good.
water on your notes?
No, ink was wet, and it came in contact with my arm.
Oh, got a little free tattoo.
Yep. We open the Mee family. Actually, Benjamin Mee is a writer whose life is full of adventure. Killer bees, foreign warlords, or even flying into Hurricane Charlie could not prepare him for what was to come. We catch up with Benjamin and his 2 kids, Dylan and Rosie, as they hurry to school. Sorry for sniffing. Ben harps on Dylan for losing a book. Lost a book, a whole book.
That's so sad.
Hmm.
Probably
But
cursed.
no one will give an F to someone whose mom just died.
They really dropped that in.
Yeah, they
They
really
let,
did.
they let us know.
Immediately.
Yeah. 6 months ago, man. That's fresh. That's a fresh wound. I'm not even. My kids are going to school if they want to at that point. That's
6 months later?
That's.
I mean, kids go to school 3 weeks after, bro.
But yeah, no, you're right.
Gotta get their education.
But yeah,
I don't know.
6 months is just fresh.
It is fresh. It is. Still grieving.
The word pernicious is dropped, and Benny is a dictionary. He just knows the definition of these words.
Causing insidious harm.
He's a writer. He's a
is.
journalist. He knows things.
We gotta give him credit. Pernicious. Benny also catches the eyes of many women. We learned that.
Well,
There's a
does he?
bunch of single women waiting for him when he drops his kids off, and one of them just. I mean, that was.
Yeah.
6
He's
months.
got that widower riz.
Yeah. Whatever that is.
Well, she didn't
Widow?
have any
Oh,
riz.
widow.
Widower.
Widower is.
That's a male widow.
What?
What?
A male widower.
A male.
A male widow is a widower.
Yeah.
They're all. Oh, okay. I didn't know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I thought they were all like widowers,
Nah.
men and women alike.
Nah. Women become widows.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah, but we meet our characters, our three main characters: Dylan, the moody teenager; Rosie, who is just, I mean, can do no wrong in this movie,
No, you're right.
Yeah.
and then Benjamin. And we kind of see the dynamic between all the kids here too. But drops off his kids at school.
Yeah.
We get a cute Rosie moment where she's like, actually, she watches the interaction between the mother and Ben, and then is like, "I love you, Daddy," or something like
Love
that.
you too, Peanut.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thomas Hayden Church. Enter Thomas Hayden Church. My favorite part of this movie.
Old Duncan.
Duncan. They can't eat at Little Don's because that's where Ben and Catherine met. I'm going to call him Ben throughout this whole movie.
Benjamin.
Well, his dad's name is
his
Ben.
father-
You can't call him Ben. That would be disrespectful.
But I'm
That
going to
Damon.
Call him like
BM.
I'm going to call him Benji. I'm going to call him Ben.
Benji's
I'm
good.
gonna call him,
His brother called him Benji.
I'm
Call
gonna
him Benji.
Ben. I'm going to call him Benjamin.
And
Duncan encourages our guy to attempt to start over. He says, "Joy." Just like that. Benny's boss turns down a pitch. We go to his work. Benny's boss turns down a pitch, and he gets a feeling his boss is keeping him around out of sympathy. He quits, but maybe in the best way you could quit. I mean, the guy, these guys love each other. He loves his boss.
Yeah.
That was
Now,
the best way to quit.
why wouldn't he send them on that one, the apocalypse? Why didn't he send them on that?
Well, his pitch was that I want to bring my kids to this. It was a volcano eruption, I think.
Yes.
And it
Yes.
was like, what is it like? What is it like in the kid's point of view, looking at a world that's broken? I don't remember all of
It's
it.
the apocalypse. That's all I got from it.
The
I said no.
apocalypse.
So
Yeah,
I was
that's
just
right.
curious.
That's right. Cut the scene. Actually, at the end of that scene, Benjamin gets a phone call that we don't know who it's from, but we jump to this next scene. Dylan's been a naughty boy. He got caught stealing money at school, and Benjamin's called in for the theft and the very disturbing image of his mural in the hallway.
My favorite part of that is that the school actually put it on the wall.
Yeah,
Like,
they put it up. The mural is of this guy who's just decapitated.
Yeah.
His head's coming off,
Mm-hmm.
and it is a great drawing.
When it's
Yeah.
not even thinking about going
Also,
back.
this
No.
principal guy, a weirdo. That
Very
squeaky
weird.
window thing.
Yeah, he walks in.
He loves the squeaky window. Dude can.
Yeah.
I
dude
thought
can
I
retire.
thought Benji was doing him a solid by trying to fix it.
Yeah, I would have liked to see him fix
I would too. It would give him some handyman skills,
Yeah,
which we find out that he does have later in the movie.
yeah. He's got a real go getter.
it. Let's go with his hands.
Sure.
All right.
Yeah, sure.
Dylan's expelled. 3
Dylan's
strikes.
expelled.
He's out. He's been acting up a lot.
It's 4.
This is his.
Yeah, it's 4th strike.
strike,
It's
Mr.
4th
Mee.
strike.
Yeah.
And we
And
are a
then the,
3-strike school. Sorry.
We get more of a dynamic between Benjamin and Dylan. They're walking out, and
Yeah,
he's
he's
like,
done.
he didn't expel you because of the mural. He expelled you because you stole. And it breaks my heart.
Mm.
That one hurt.
Yeah, that was tough. We jump back to the house. Rosie reassures Benny that he's got plenty of hair.
That's a weird.
Really glad you put that in there. That was
Benjamin
Yeah.
asks Rosie, he's like, "Am I doing anything right?" And Rosie, of course,
Yeah.
carries this movie. She's like, you got lots of hair. You're doing good. You're more handsome than all the other dads. And then Benjamin
Is
finds...
this the scene where she writes the J backwards on the...
Yeah, she does, and it's real cute.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's PB.
Backwards J, baby.
Backwards J. Benjamin then finds Dill Pickle's journal.
Ooh.
And, oh my word.
It's
I
dark.
think it is very dark.
Reminds me of my buddy. Well, I won't say his name, but
Just his first name.
Make up an
Tretton. His name is Tretton.
Yeah. That was... All right.
Gotta-
That's not even a name. All right.
Must be like it's the same group that gave him the nickname.
Nope.
Nick.
No, this is a guy. Man.
Oh, holy Tourette's, brother.
All right.
All right. Yeah, Dill Pickle's journal is full of some bad juju.
Yeah.
We get a touching scene of Benjamin looking at himself in the mirror, then he looks over to the expensive meds from his wife. That his wife was taking.
Antidepressants.
And we just get this. Yeah, we just this feeling that this family is just like really struggling to move past.
Yeah.
I mean,
and 6 months later, and he like hasn't moved anything.
Yeah,
Like that's kind of like,
they feel stuck. Those are 2 grizzly bears.
yeah. We brought in live grizzly bears for this taping.
Yeah. Rosie and Ben, as they're going to bed, they have loud neighbors. They live in the city, so Rosie looks out the window, and we get a good quote. They're happy is too loud.
Their happy is too loud.
So Benjamin gets the idea to move.
Yeah.
This is going to be a fresh start. He's taking his brother's advice. They're going to move.
JB Smooth. Come on now.
Smooth.
JB Smooth. They're house hunting. Just new. JB Smooth enters. Also, he's the professor in Spider-Man No Way Home. One of the professors. Along with that guy from Silicon Valley. What's his name?
Oh yeah, Martin. It's his name in Silicon Valley.
Yeah.
I don't know his real name.
Yeah. 2 of the best parts of Spider-Man No Way Home. That's not true. There's a lot of good parts of it. But they're house hunting. Yeah. JB Smooth's hitting it off.
New. Everybody wants new.
Everybody wants new. Our mommy just died. Rosie says that. Kind of kills the vibe. JB Smooth handles it well.
He saves that thing.
He saves it. What's his name? Mr. Stevens. Mr. Stevens.
That's his name.
That's his character. That's his name in the movie.
Mm.
Mr. Stevens. This is his first day on the job,
First day.
and he's excited.
That was a fun thing.
Rosie, I love your mom. Picture your face. I'm a grown woman. I love her to death.
He's a good guy.
Good guy. He's a good guy.
All right, then we're house hunting. We go by several houses. We find this house, their dream house. Do you guys take a look at the listing? Did you pause it on the listing at all?
No, did you?
I got some information. So the house and the zoo apparently was selling for $375,000. 4-bed, 3-bath, 3,430 square feet. And I don't know if that's including. That's just the house, probably, because the house is
Wait, how many square feet?
3,430.
Okay, that's just the house.
Yeah. It was a huge house.
Yeah, that's a pretty good size house.
And it comes with a zoo.
Yeah. Now, I was confused about this too, because wouldn't you see it on the paper?
Yeah, wouldn't you?
Rosemore property.
Well,
It's a zoo.
Benjamin didn't look at the paper.
But
Yeah.
here's the
Daughter
thing.
did.
Yeah, that's true. But then he grabbed it.
No.
Yeah, you get the scene where it's like the sun shining through the paper as he hands this to Benjamin.
That's what I paused it on to get all this information.
Yeah. And
I'm pretty
then-
sure Rosie was maybe not. I don't know.
And then you get 9.2 mile drive to the house, and you don't even mention it. Anyways, that's but we do. I love it. Yeah, great stuff.
Sorry for sniffing. So we learned it was a fully functioning zoo until 2 years ago. Sorry for sniffing. But Big Ben doesn't know anything about zoos. So it is what it is. He's gonna pass on it until they lose Rosie.
Sometimes you don't know what it is until it is what it is.
Yeah, good beat there.
Great beat. He nails that.
He really is a good part of this movie. Until they lose Rosie, only to find her feeding a flock of peacocks. And Benji boy is convinced. Our guy Benji, he's ready to pull the trigger on this play.
He is.
Duncan, we go back to him and Duncan. Duncan attempts to talk Benjamin out of blowing their dad's inheritance on a zoo.
Let's do.
But to Ben, it's destiny. We learn that there's 49 different species on this zoo. 7 of them are in danger.
Save those animals.
Yep. So we catch up with Benjamin. He's breaking the news to his family. Rosie, of course, is so excited. Dylan blows up on Daddy because he doesn't like zoos. Apparently, I don't
Well,
think
he doesn't
likes
want to
zoos.
leave his friends.
His
Yeah.
friends who
Yeah.
are they really friends?
I don't think so.
No.
I mean, 9.2 miles. That's not a long way to drive.
No,
It's really not.
it's really not.
Well, no, it's not necessarily 9.2 miles from the city. It's 9.2 miles from the nearest store.
Target.
Yeah, but if it's 9.2 million,
Wow.
hold on, 9.2 miles from a Target, then like,
But it may
You know,
not be
targets
the
are
same
like-
city.
oh
I
yeah,
don't know.
Well, you get
Yeah.
the,
It
you
would've
get
been a
the
different
idea that
school
it's kinda
district.
Like out,
It
it's
was,
like
yeah, it was a
suburb.
different
What
school.
school
Yeah.
are we in?
Well, I don't know. I thought that this movie was based off America, but apparently the zoo is in England in
That's
real
true.
life.
oh, okay.
I
So
don't know
Yeah.
if it ever says what cities are in.
I don't
Because
think it does either.
it's in there. They're in the U.S.
gotta
In the
be
movie.
in the
because
movie, yeah.
Yes. I don't know.
Devon, England is where the original zoo is.
That's interesting.
Devon, England.
My guess is the East Coast somewhere like that, just based on like kind of the clues throughout the movie, like in the art. Like I think of that town that they were in, like where the coffee shop was and stuff. Like the architecture looks like it's kind of that northeast vibe.
Playing to
And the houses too.
yeah, it is
Yeah. Yeah.
located.
Maybe like northeast. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
It is located in California in the movie.
Real that East Coast twang to it.
You know, I don't think that's true. I think that Wikipedia really.
That's funny.
That's
California.
fine. That's a tough L to take, but I'll take it.
It's okay.
You said somewhere on the East Coast.
I did. I sure did.
It was a real, but like not so real take. You know,
Well, there were mountains in the film. So
Way to just sprinkle that.
real but not so
that's
real.
how I knew.
That's the
There were
show.
mountains in that.
Name of the game. Rolling Hills.
Mountains, rolling hills, whatever you want.
The Mees are on the move. Benny imagines Catherine as they drive by Little John's. I don't know the name of the
Little Doms.
Little Dom.
Yeah.
They
Little
drive
John.
by Little Doms.
Little Wayne.
We're introduced to Lily Miska when we pull up on the zoo, who runs the restaurant called the Jaguar. Very creepy scene, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean,
I mean, she's just
Welcome
standing
her.
by the sign.
She's welcoming her new neighbors to
Also,
the homeschool way. Stand in the window and just wave with
Oh,
no life
man.
in your eyes.
no life
But
whatsoever.
her and Dylan make this weird connection.
Yeah, well, sure.
But
There's a couple of kids.
Just a
yeah,
couple
but, like,
kids
you
hanging
can
out in the
hide
field.
chocolate seed. I don't know.
I'd also like to point out this LED sign that she can just magically put whatever letters up there.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Pretty.
Like,
Well, so it says with that, and then later it says something different, and then later it says something different.
yeah, so she has the 7 letters.
It's called the Jaguar.
Yeah,
Yep.
I mean, I guess that's possible.
It's not that hard to change letters on a sign, dog.
But I think neon, like, you have to pump neon through it all. Like, so they have to be interconnected.
And it looked like they were light bulbs. It didn't look like they were just like. I mean,
Bulbs.
you make fun of high school.
Well, when we start our lighting podcast, we'll be able to talk about this more in depth.
Yep. Well, we meet Lily. We meet Kelly.
Kelly.
Scarjo. She's the zookeeper, and the rest of the crew, which
Mhm.
we'll talk about more later. But Dylan perks up when he hears that Lily, who is very homeschooled, lives on the property.
Yeah.
So he's thinking, hey, we can make something happen here.
She's got the biggest smile on her face.
Yep.
Yeah, she's like a really like positive person.
Good energy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Have you guys never met like a girl that is just from like the country? Like that is exactly like what they're like. I don't know why y'all are like she played it to perfection.
Hey, that's why we have this podcast. Your take is your take.
And she
man.
killed it as an awkward homeschooler. She killed it.
Yes.
She nailed it right on the nose.
I think so. Benjamin Mee gives a pretty funny introduction speech. Sponsors of animal greatness.
That was funny.
Yeah.
You could feel the awkwardness.
Oh, it's so awkward. You can tell he's way in over his head at this point. Immediately, Kelly takes us to meet Buster, the Grizz, who's missing the meds. We get a very off-putting interaction between Lily and Dill. She asks, "Where'd you get your shoes, and how much were they?"
And how much? Yeah.
Two questions I never really think about.
You ask people those questions.
Yeah.
That's all you.
She didn't ask him how tall. He said,
I will say.
Boy, that is some of the best riffing I've ever seen.
I don't know. I don't remember that. She said, what'd she say? Then?
I don't know.
Where'd you get your shoes?
And
How much were they?
Yeah, and it was like right off the.
She's just trying to make
Yeah,
conversation, you know. She's
I
just
would
like,
ask someone
She's excited.
I would ask someone where you got your shoes from.
Yeah, she's excited. She's never
Yeah.
seen a boy her age before. She's very excited.
yeah.
That's probably true.
I will say we skipped a scene of like when they're packing up and they go through the closet. They pull out the quarter zip that their mom used to wear all the time. And
yeah,
it's very sentimental. But they actually wanted to give it a new start. They were going to donate it, and then Rosie snuck it away in one of the bags, I guess.
There's actually, I think there's some subtext there that it's actually was Dylan who was the one that took it. Because if you see that scene, and I think we're ahead of where we are a little bit in the plot, but like if you see that scene, like he's at the door, and then he kind of gets annoyed, like when, like, because the dad, like Benjamin, thinks it's the daughter too, and like I don't know, like I just picked that up that I think it was him that actually took the sweatshirt. It's interesting.
Yeah, I think you could be right.
He was a mama's boy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's interesting too because you kind of see. I mean, everybody grieves loss a different way, and you can kind of see the three different ways that. I mean, Rosie. I mean, she remembers her mom, obviously, but you can kind of tell it's different for her than it is for Dylan, or it's different for Dylan than it is for Benjamin.
Yeah.
So
it's interesting for sure.
Yeah. Anyway, Kelly teaches Rosie and me how to chuff with the tigers. That was a good chuff.
This is a hilarious scene.
This is so funny. And Benjamin gets chuffing FOMO and tries it himself, and it's pretty embarrassing.
Yeah.
Something our dad would do.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Tiger's name is Spar. We meet Spar. He's very old. Kelly not so subtly mentions that she's recently divorced.
She mentioned that?
Yep.
Yeah.
I
Dang,
missed that.
I did
My
too.
brief marriage was a cage.
Oh,
and then
yes.
Me is like, mine wasn't, and then it's like, oh.
Yeah.
Which, how old do we think Benjamin Mee is in this film?
I think he's like 40.
And she's 28. Well, I guess
That's not crazy.
that's not crazy, no.
No.
Yeah.
Seen crazier.
Mm-hmm.
I bet.
But it kind of escalates. And is this where Kelly is like, I have no life? Like, this is all, or is that later?
I think it's in that same like kind of initial
Yeah.
meeting. She
Yeah.
kind of drops that a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
'Cause
because it's whenever they're done with the tour, and then she's asking him like, "Why did you buy the zoo?" And he's like, doesn't really have an answer until then.
Well, he does actually.
He does,
Yeah. So she's basically interrogating him like, do you know what you got yourself into? Like, why did you buy this place? And Benjamin doesn't really have an answer, but says, why not? And we learn that comes back later. And it's actually
So
pretty.
powerful.
Yeah, it's pretty inspirational.
Why not?
But
why not Benjamin? Huh?
yeah, so their first night on the zoo, Dill Pickle snuggles a picture of mom in his bed. Sad. You can tell he's sad. He's a sad boy. Benjamin gets FOMO again and joins the crew in the Jaguar. McCready monologues about his hate for the inspector. We're introduced to the inspector. What's his name?
Walter Ferris.
Walter Ferris, played by a great actor. Actor's name? John Michael.
Nope.
It's something like that. He's got 3 names.
McCready, Angus McFadden.
Angus.
Angus.
And the inspector is
John Michael Higgins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's been on. I feel like he's just like that side character that
Yeah.
just about every movie.
Yeah. He's in a ton of stuff. He's also in Evan Almighty
Yeah.
as a callback. He's in Pitch Perfect. Those
Yeah.
3. He's the announcer guy who's very funny. He always plays like kind of like a judgy, like a judgy kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
plays the same character in a lot of stuff that he's in.
He does a great job.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, we're partying hard in the Jaguar, and then that's night 1. Now it's time to get to work. Benjamin calls a porcupine an a-hole.
It's true. Not talking to it right, boss.
Yeah, you got to talk to the animals in the right way. It is pretty funny when he jumps out of the cage and lands on the thorn bush.
Mm.
Duncan joins the scene. Duncan's here at the zoo. He wants Ben to dump the animals, but keep Kelly. Pursue Kelly. He's like, we get another line from Duncan. I see you working in Bolivia for men with large mustaches. Pretty funny. We shoot over to Lily and Dylan. Lily kind of creeps up into the treehouse, just pokes her head up, and says, "What you doing?" And
Reminds me of Isabel from Phineas and Ferb.
yeah, I find it so creepy.
That's good. That was a good callback.
It's what you do.
Yeah,
In the underworld.
Lily likes Lily likes Dill.
Oh,
She likes her, but Dill only likes the underworld.
I'll say this. This part was weird because like she got real close to him. Like
they just met.
Like they just met. I get it if they. I don't get it.
yeah.
I don't
It
get
it was like we already.
She's a
said,
homeschool
kinda weird.
farm girl. That's what homeschoolers do, guys. That's what homeschool farm girls do. You just
horse
get.
girl.
She's like
Because
a,
that changes
she's
things.
like a zebra girl.
She's not a horse girl. She's an animal. Just an animal girl.
She's an animal.
Well, then at the end of the movie, well, yeah, we'll get that.
She actually turns into an animal at the end of the movie.
Nope.
Wow.
That's not what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, he
Quite the
loves the
opposite.
dark world, but she gave him a sandwich, right?
Sandwich. And
Well, he
sandwiches
says
every day.
no to the sandwich, and then she shows kind of that womanly care and hands him the sandwich.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
need this. I'm gonna bring you sandwiches every day at 4:15.
No, she
Check
said
your
I'll
watch.
get off at 4, so I'll bring you a sandwich.
Check your watch, Dill Pickle. I'm bringing you a sandwich every day. Every
Extra,
day.
extra dill.
Hope you like. Hope you like sandwiches. Benjamin's writing checks that he can't cash. Am I right?
Well, he can
You would
cash them
assume.
initially.
I feel like he made bank.
We
Right.
made bank and
He's got the inheritance.
he's got his inheritance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, if this is a shared inheritance between him and Duncan, he's got to be using Duncan's share of the inheritance to do this, right?
Oh,
Like,
I
to
don't think
write
so.
all these- but to write all these, not just to buy the property, but like writing all these checks.
I mean, I'm sure there's a line of credit involved.
Yeah, you're probably forget about credit.
Yeah, yeah, you can. Yeah, I'd imagine that there's probably that.
Probably.
And there's the potential that the state pays him some money for buying the zoo. Like, because the state was
Is that
running
true?
that zoo. I don't know. I'll look it up.
That is probably
The estate.
The state.
true.
No, the estate was the.
I thought they
no,
were saying the state.
the state was
The
was-
state was-
Estate and state are very similar words. There's just one letter that's different.
No, I know, but the state was paying it.
No,
No.
it was the estate, like the trust, like the guy who died, who had the zoo.
He died.
It was
There's a zoo fund. Think of this.
Yeah.
There's a zoo fund with its own credit system. There's
Yeah.
Benjamin Mee with his inheritance, which is like a weird credit system. And now he's like,
You're just making
yeah.
more confusing, I think.
You're
It's too-
completely
it's too-
wrong.
Okay, so let's let me
So,
get my
yeah,
glasses,
so no,
and
here's
I will
what-
become the
oh,
financial
here we go.
consultant.
No, here's what I'm asking: is the state or the estate was taking care of the zoo before
The
Benjamin Mee
E-state. So what probably happened, and I don't know if they tell us this in the movie, is the original owners like died or moved on, and they like so when you die, you can plan your estate, like you can select how your money is spent, and so there was probably some kind of endowment or some kind of fund that was paying like the salaries of like the workers and for the upkeep of the property. And so there was probably something where when Benjamin bought the property, then one is they reference it later, but there's a zoo account like fund that they can be spent on improvements to the zoo. And then he has his own money as well. And so I think he's pouring both of those into the zoo.
yeah,
Like he had bought the property and was paying for that stuff, and then had because it mentions later, like, and we're skipping ahead when the accountant girl is like, oh, he zeroed out the zoo fund, and then like is selling because that's what you do. Like if he was to sell it off, like he would be able to. Oh, he zeroed it out, and then was able to move on from it. So basically, he's putting the money and the zoo money all towards like kind of revamping it so that it can open and then make all its money back in the summer.
There we go. Thank you for explaining that. The accountant.
Call me CFO Joe.
Oh, CFO Joe, baby.
all right, that's a mistake.
That's
All
going
right.
to stick for sure. All right, any other points we want to make about where we are so far?
I don't even remember where we are.
Writing checks that he can't count.
Yeah, he's writing
Yeah.
checks. We get the beat that they're. Go ahead. Did you have something?
I was just gonna say he and Kelly are kind of like making weird smirks at each other already.
There's
Like
definitely
she's kind of smirking a little.
well from Kelly, not from Benjamin.
bit. We
is
already
that-
got.
That's yeah. I mean, Kelly's flirting. She's flirtatious. Is butter that important? Apparently it is. He has to drive 18 miles. I personally don't think butter is that important. 18 miles.
Well, it depends on the mill.
I think they were just eating corn. They were just eating the corn.
That's
No,
So-
we didn't.
strange. Are we sure we're in?
I don't think they were just eating corn. They were picking the corn, preparing it to make a meal.
Maybe that cornmeal.
Nah. They were just eating corn because it's set up. They don't eat meals. Like they even say, like at the beginning when all those ladies are bringing them the lasagna, like they aren't even eating the lasagna. Like remember they're all in the fridge.
Yeah, doesn't like lasagna.
Yeah, doesn't like lasagna,
I wonder
so
if
they
that's
just
like a weird grief thing.
oh maybe I don't know, but
Like,
yeah, I think it's like kind of apparent like they're kind of like he's kind of neglecting. In not like in a actual like rule like law breaking way, but like he's kind of neglecting taking care. Like there's a hole in their family, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
That's a good way.
There's a hole in their family of like no one's really like caring
Yep.
in that way for their food, so they're like just eating, kind of whatever.
Yeah, he doesn't want to touch the spatula because it reminds him of Catherine. So that's not
She
in
be-
my notes. But
she
What were you
Yeah.
saying?
yeah
I thought we were
she
on the same vibe.
she be cooking,
Oh yeah.
she'd be the one
So-
cooking.
Benji sends Kelly home. He's like, "You're good. Take the night off."
Yeah.
I mean, at this point,
Go home
It's 9
is what he
p.m.
says to her.
It's 9 p.m. So it's basically just see you in the morning. But he assigns Benjamin some chores. Benjamin learns from Rosie, and stop me if I'm missing anything, but Benjamin learns from Rosie that Dill is sad because his friends don't come over. He's very sad. I mean, his friends, he's only a couple miles outside the city. Allegedly. We don't know that. We also learned that Spar is actually very sick. The tiger, Spar. And Dylan sets all the snakes free.
Yeah, dude. What are you doing?
Yeah, just buckle the latch back.
Just buckle the latch. I mean,
He was just
if
supposed
I
to
was-
turn off the lights, right?
Mm-hmm.
oh yeah, and he looked at the new
He looked at
shipment
the
of
new shipment.
snakes. I don't know what I would do in his position. I might do the same thing. But miraculously, all the snakes are in the front yard. So,
Well, we don't know that. Come on, we don't know. Like,
That's all that was shown, though.
yes, but it says like at the end of that day, we got through today, meaning they probably lost some snakes, probably lost some money.
could have. I don't
That's
know.
just my theory. You have to imply some things, man.
We get a pretty important scene of Dill watching as Rosie and Ben talk about mom, and Dylan's just kind of on the outside. This is when Benjamin references the Chilean miners, and that cave actually collapsed the year before in 2010.
Oh, wow.
So that remark was actually
Boy,
very referenced.
That's actually a pretty dark joke.
I know.
That's
Yeah.
wild.
He goes, Rosie was under all the stuffed animals, and he's like, wow, it's like you're a Chilean miner.
Jeez.
And for that to happen the year before, it took
That's
me
wild.
off guard. Yeah.
Yeah, that is insane. But we get to see the sweater again in the scene, right?
Yes, this
This is
is
the
the
one you were
sweater
talking
scene. Yeah. Dylan is an onlooker or an on listener.
Or an
He's peeping.
eavesdropper.
He's peeping. Peeping Dill. Next morning, all the snakes are in the front yard. Miraculously, they didn't leave.
Hmm.
They just really like the soil right in front of the front porch.
Yeah.
Love it. Ben
The
is-
barn is right by the house.
If I were a snake, I'd go to the nearest patch of tall grass.
Yeah, I don't want to slither in between those blades of grass.
Oh, man, what I wouldn't do to slither between some grass. Oh, that'd be nice. Benjamin is so tough on Dill here, on our boy Dill Pickle. Everybody notices.
Yeah.
It's kind of awkward.
It's like when you hear that parent yell at a kid in the grocery store and you're like,
Yeah.
I think he didn't yell at him enough there. I'm with Kelly. She told him, she's like, "Hey, you're too light on him."
I don't think that's. I mean, okay.
If my
Here's
kid
the
did
thing.
that and like a bunch of exotic snakes are now in my front yard, I am lighting into him or her.
Yeah.
what if you're.
Time and place, I think.
Yeah.
Time and place for that,
I mean, there's
in my
a
opinion.
there's a thing, though, that we can't deny that the mom is not. She's dead, okay? This kid, and what's his name? Benjamin is like, that's what he talks to Kelly about. He's like, well, he went through something no kid has to go through, so why be harder on him? Yeah,
For sure.
Yeah.
I just see a bunch of snakes in my front
no,
yard.
that's true. And he kicks one too.
Yeah.
Like a
And
harder
the-
snake.
You're going to pay me for that
I
snake.
think the mural of the dilapidated guy, that would
Yeah.
send me. I would, yeah. There would be some serious talking going on between me and my son.
Yeah.
But at
like-
that point, I'd be like, "You're in counseling. You're going to counseling."
Well, like Jonah said, he's at this point where he's kind of neglecting some of the caretaking.
That is true.
Yeah.
That is true.
Yeah. Everybody's grieving.
Everybody's grieving. Dill Pickle punts a snake. Absolutely kicks it.
Yeah.
I mean, 25 yards. Not
Yeah.
25 yards, but
It was about 3 feet.
You
but-
saw the snake.
Yeah,
land.
yeah, it was about 3
Yeah.
feet. But yeah.
yeah. Walter Ferris is here. Walter Ferris is here. We got a Mayday situation here. He tears up that dirt road. He is going so fast down that dirt road, trying to get to this zoo. Walter is absolutely gross towards Kelly in this introductory scene. Absolutely disgusting. And he's just a big meanie. He also uses the coolest tape measure to measure off the enclosure for the bear or whatever.
Okay.
I have
Watching
that.
this as like an older guy now.
Yeah, there was
there was
definitely.
something that he meant
Yeah.
by that tape measure.
And where it
Got to
was
get me one of
positioned-
them. Got to get me one of them tape measures.
That's it. I mean, that's what I was
That's
thinking.
crazy.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was
Measure
pretty cool.
so many things.
Yeah.
Measure from here to that cup.
Just can't get a handle on it.
Oof,
Freaking nerdy.
that was tough to watch.
That was.
After the inspection, it's just a pop by. So it's not a real inspection, but it's just a pop by. It's gonna cost $150 to fix all this stuff.
Yeah.
$150,000 American dollars,
Yes.
U.S. currency. That's a lot of money. We get the cute scene of Rosie being like $1.50.
I have that.
Yeah,
And
I
he goes,
wish-
good, we're gonna need it.
Yeah.
I wish things cost that much. Dylan and Ben see Buster on their ride home from school.
This is fun.
Dylan got kicked out of school again. They sent him home.
He got sent home for moodiness.
Moodiness, general moodiness. They see Buster in the middle of the room. I'd be freaking out.
Well, I feel like we skip over a important part where he's having this like panic attack in the
Please.
front yard, and then he kicks over the trash can, and then he picks it back up and stands tall. You know, like, oh, we're gonna do this.
Yeah.
Important
That was-
part, man.
Yeah, I mean
You're right.
That's
You're right.
a good character building moment for sure because we see him like, yeah, this guy's super stressed. I can't imagine.
And Kelly starts to believe in him too. Like because it's like cutting to her face
Yeah.
to him, and she's like believing in him.
Yeah.
But yeah, Buster's loose.
Buster's loose. The hunt's on.
Hunt's on.
Ben does connect with Buster, I feel like, here. The bear. Before he gets a trank. Buster, not Ben.
Yes.
Jimmy.
Yeah.
He's figuring out how to talk to these animals. He's just shooting it straight with these animals. Ben and Kelly take a super platonic stroll. That's very sarcastic. There's no way platonic. It's like very romantic the way that they're walking together. And Kelly doesn't want to be kissed or does want to be kissed.
It was like, are you talking about when they're on the porch?
Yeah.
Talking?
No, this
This
is
is-
they're walking by the truck.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She says like, if you're gonna like, you're not gonna kiss me, like I'm gonna kiss you, basically.
Yeah, I'm gonna kiss you if I want to kiss you.
Yeah.
Was kind of the.
Yeah. Damon's like, you're really pretty, so I apologize if I don't hit on you or something.
Yeah, we get a sense of the tension.
What kind of tension?
The romantic tension.
Oh, okay.
Ben rushes to Duncan because Catherine left him $84,000. That's circus money. Duncan encourages him again to get out because there's a way out. Doesn't have to deal with the zoo anymore. Just pack it up and leave. Dylan breaks Lily's heart in the next scene.
Yeah, this was sad.
Yeah. I think this was a point in the movie where my son woke up. So jump in here. Interject with notes that you have. Dylan breaks Lily's heart. I don't remember how it happened. How Dylan breaks Lily's heart, but
Well,
pretty much just blew.
He's
Yeah.
well, he's pumped about leaving. Like, and he's just like, kind of dismissive of her and their
That's right.
friendship that they've built. Like, that's kind of the premise of it. Is he's not saying what she wants him to say about her, because she's kind of coming in like a little sad that he's leaving, but she wants reassurance that like, oh, they're still gonna be friends and talk or whatever. And he's like dismissive of that. Like, he just wants to go back to his friends, like to his life and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So she feels like he's like, none of the stuff that they've built is real. Like, he's been unhappy through it all.
Do we know how long they've been here at this point? Like weeks?
They got here in February, and then they were everything, like the movie ends like around July 7th because that's when they open. So it's like gotta be a few months. Like,
They're a couple months.
they're probably a couple months in.
Okay.
So a substantial amount of time.
So there's some off-screen stuff that we don't see between Lily and
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
So many sandwiches have been made
And
every
eaten.
day
Yeah.
and eaten every day.
Yeah, we got the one with the little sunshine.
Yeah.
Let it,
That is
let
true.
It, let it sunshine.
Fellow artist in Lily.
Yeah. But yeah, we zeroed out the zoo account. That's done.
Yeah.
Rhonda's turned everybody against Benjamin already. He's like,
Mhm.
this guy's gonna quit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're there.
Everybody thinks he's just going to sell it, make a huge profit, and get out of it.
Mm-hmm.
So Ben meets with the crew as heard they're out of money. After disregarding Duncan's timeout, which I thought was a good beat, Ben commits the $84,000 to the zoo and commits to his first real adventure. This is to me where the movie picks up, and we're like halfway through, maybe. Are we halfway through at this point?
Yeah.
Well, the movie caught my attention before this scene.
Yeah, I mean there were good bits, but this is where it really takes off for me. Also, he cans Rhonda. He just cans her right there.
Mm-hmm.
You're done. Have fun in Mexico.
Adios.
Takes a trip to Home Depot and meets that lady.
Home Depot lady.
Home Depot lady. Does she have? Is she given a name?
Let's see. Cashier.
Cashier. Home Depot
That's her
cashier.
name?
Nice lady. 7-7. When it's going down, 7-7. My notes just say Ben and Spar. Spar no good.
Yeah.
Spar no good.
Spar
This
no
is the
good.
scene where he's, I believe he's given Spar medicine and he won't take it, but then he walks out there and I think I could be wrong, but Scarlett's like, you, sorry, I'm using their cast or their real names.
Oh,
What's it?
Kelly.
She's like, it's gonna happen soon, and he's like, no, he's okay.
Yeah. You kind of get the sense that this is like reliving like what he did with his wife, like kind of trying to bargain. It's like if you look at the 5 stages of grief, like it's that bargaining, like it's like trying to, kind of manipulate the situation in the way that you want.
Yeah. And he's been in big denial of it too. It's like whenever Walter came by for the pop by, he's like, "What's your end game plan with this cat? Like, it's really expensive if you don't have one." He's like, "Oh, we're not there yet. We're not there yet."
Yeah.
He's like, everybody's asking him like, "What's your plan whenever this cat dies?" And he's like, "No, we're not there yet."
Yeah.
So yeah,
and you feel that too.
Yeah.
I feel like Matt Damon. I mean, doesn't need any credits from me, but like, he really makes you feel that.
Yeah.
Like he's carrying a lot. He's carrying a lot of this.
Especially
Yeah. Spar no good. Spar is, and I may be skipping a few scenes here, so interject if I'm missing anything. Spar stuck on the rock.
Yeah,
Mhm.
we almost go through the pictures on the laptop at this point. The first time around, like
the first time.
you can hear the tune of the music starts playing, and it's just the laptop.
Mm-hmm.
And we haven't had the scene where they fight yet, right?
No, that happens after.
Yeah, that comes later. Spar's stuck on the rock, but Lily is a genius. Loud noises scare the big cats.
Which this scene is funny.
It's funny, and you also
yeah.
I mean, you're cheering for Spar.
Yeah.
They cheer him off. Spar moves, and then we get the beat of Benjamin is just reeking.
Yeah, the way he was making noise, like the others were like banging on pots and yelling, and then he's like actually yelling, like basically like his frustration and feelings about like just his grief, like is all kind of spilling out like in through anger.
Yeah, it's like I didn't come out here for you. I came out here because I was like desperate.
Yeah.
It was intense.
It was. Spar does move though, and I am elated that Spar moves.
Yeah.
But Kelly assures Benjamin that it will happen again and that it's time. But he's not. Benjamin's not ready to admit it yet. Still.
This is the part where she keeps saying it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Like, no, he's okay.
Yeah.
Or she's okay.
Yeah.
Spar girl or boy?
It's boy.
Yeah. She drops the bomb of like, "You've never done this before."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then he says,
things like, exactly this before. It was pretty intense.
Yeah.
It really was.
Here we get Benja and Kelly talking on the porch, and
After
fill in some stuff for me.
So basically, after that scene with him yelling at Kelly, or them going back and forth, he leaves for the whole day. And it cuts to them at night, and he's coming back, and she had gone and helped the kids get dinner and everything.
Yeah.
And she's sitting on the porch.
Sitting on the porch.
Mm-hmm.
Benjamin tells her that the reason him and Dylan are at odds so much of the time is because he just reminds him so much of his wife.
That's tough.
That's
That
really
is tough.
Wait, I thought it was that like his daughter reminds him of her, but like Dylan has her eyes, but like the rest of him is like himself.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
I thought that was more of
I
what.
was a little bit hazy on this part.
Okay, I thought that's what it was because it was like he's looking into like his wife's eyes, but it's like himself. Like, and I think he's carrying like part of it is like he's carrying a lot of like himself, like his own like weight of what all this has done, and like so it's like hard to look, into his wife's eyes, but then like into his own body, like it's just kind of a weird thing that he's expressing.
Yeah. And he calls him like frustrating and ridiculous and all these other names, and it's
Yeah.
like, but when I look into his eyes, I see Catherine. I can't
Yeah.
imagine.
Mm-hmm. I can't either. But Dylan overhears this whole thing, and then this is what leads to the argument scene.
Mm-hmm.
This is a tough scene. Like,
It is. I think this is one of the scenes that make this movie. It's just, it's just real.
Yeah,
Real
they
life.
also shot it in a really cool way too. Instead of like the stationary camera, they had it like moving and up in the face, and it was like all one really good take. It was
Wow,
really
it was
cool.
one take. I didn't notice that.
Yeah, they
I
don't
love
cut
that.
the scenes.
I love that.
I didn't even notice either.
I would assume.
But yeah, this whole argument scene it's crazy because Benjamin he's in his own head, and you can tell he's doing in his heart he feels like this is what he's doing. He's doing what he's doing for the family.
Mhm.
But really he's only doing it for Rosie.
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
So
And Ben is like trying to tell Dylan that he's not getting any help from him.
mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's also when he and Kelly were talking, it was like basically Ben is seeing her everywhere and all that stuff, and then we get the hint of like, oh, she loves blueberry Pop Tarts and red kites. Like that comes back later, but anyways.
Yeah. Anyway.
And then there's like a little. Sorry, I always do
No,
this.
I just did the same thing.
There's like a funny. It kind of ends the scene in kind of a funny way because a little bit. It's still sad, but he's like, Dylan's like, he never even taught me how to shave.
Mm-hmm.
And then he walks into his room and he's like, you want to learn how to shave? I'll teach you how to shave.
Yeah.
Let's shave.
Let's shave.
Did I teach y'all how to shave?
Jake taught me how to shave.
Dad taught me.
Yeah, Dad showed me. Dad actually cut himself shaving, showing me how to shave.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. Thanks, Dad. The next morning, Dill Pickle joins Big Ben with Spar in Spar's enclosure. Actually, in Spar's smaller enclosure, not a cage. They decide it's time to let Spar rest. Let him pass on to Tiger Heaven.
Man. I think I cried in this scene just a little bit.
Yeah, it was a good scene.
Me too.
They really came together. Dylan's on board with the zoo now.
That's like,
On board.
yeah, because they say, well, let's just say what we want the other guy to say.
Mm.
And then Dylan, Ben goes, you're a great dad.
Yeah.
That's tough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They also talk about Lily and Dylan and their situation, and Dylan's just confused. Doesn't know what happened.
And this is where he drops the quote that you said earlier, which I'll say
Read it first.
briefly. Well, okay. Sometimes all you need is 20 seconds of insane courage. Just literally 20 seconds of just embarrassing bravery. And I promise you, something great will happen. Which that is a great quote.
It's a good quote.
I love it. Benjamin later is rummaging through Dylan's art when he finds a picture that he drew of Spar.
Sweet.
Yeah. When I saw it, I was like, wow, this kid has a heart. It's not just all underworld stuff.
Mm.
He's got a heart. This is where the next scene is where Benjamin gets a good cry out. Sits down with his laptop and
This is
actually scrolls through the photos and it was pretty emotional.
Yeah, and both of those kind of mirror each other thematically because like you've got like Dylan like kind of veering away from like the darkness and the heaviness of it to like it through his art. You know, he's like creating something that's not just like depressing, honestly. And then like for Benjamin, it's like kind of the same thing. Like he's breaking through into this new stage of his grief, like where he's kind of able to hold like the good with the bad, like because you kind of see him laughing as he's crying, like he's able to kind of hold both in tension and kind of accept it and be able to be happy, you know, with those memories again.
Yeah. Yeah, he's kind of not coming to terms, but he's accepting it.
Yeah.
So. It's inspection day. McClady's been drinking.
Calming down.
Yep, he's relaxed. Solomon's enclosure door, the lock's jammed. So Kelly distracts Solomon while McClady fixes it just before Ferris comes back. This was a good scene.
Yep.
McClady's funny. He says, I'm filled with Scotch bitterness and impure thoughts. Yeah. Is he, where's he from? McClady.
Ireland.
Ireland. That was a pretty good Irish, I think.
Yeah.
Sure. Impure thoughts.
Maybe Scottish though.
Yeah, I was thinking
It may be Scotland
I feel
actually.
like my accent was more Danish. So, apologies.
they're all in the same area.
Yeah.
Okay. Great news. They pass. Benjamin turns around, holds up the form sheet of information.
One thing to interject too that I just as you said that because I pictured the scene. So anytime like because a lot of the theme of this movie is like, you know, grief versus hope. Like that's kind of the thing that they're flashing between. And like anytime like that there's any sort of like flash of hope in this movie, it's like set against the sun. Like so like Kelly, there's shots of Kelly that are like shot against the sun, like that is shot against the sun when they first discover the place. Like there's a lot of like the sun blaring through the trees and stuff. Like so it's like this new life, like this
That's
hope
cool.
kind of thing shining through.
That's really cool.
And, well, we'll get to that. But happens again later.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Great news, they passed. Bad news, giant rainstorm.
Giant.
Record storm. D Pickle bangs on Lily's window, and a 14-year-old boy tells a 12-year-old girl that he loves her. I got the ages wrong in my notes, but it was a sweet moment.
Sweet.
He's not named after Bob Dylan. He's named
not.
after a dog named Dylan.
True.
Yep.
It was longer than 20 seconds. I clocked it.
Yeah. 20 seconds. That's all you need, and then you get more courage.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's true. Maybe it does. Just kind of.
Yeah. Once you start it in motion, you know, it's just starts rolling.
Yeah. Big rain all day.
Well,
Very
for
wet.
several days, like the whole week before.
Is it several days?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Time is a weird thing in this movie because I can never gauge like how long we've been in a scene, how long it's been since the previous scene. A couple times that happens, especially once we're on the zoo. But yeah, we get the newscaster saying that it's like a record storm, and then the next morning, the morning of opening, The sun's out. The ground's not even wet. There's no clouds in the sky. But it's opening day.
7-7.
7-7. Benjamin gives a pretty good speech. Felt like.
Yeah.
Short but sweet.
I got this one. Just the main quote of this one.
Yep.
It says, and this whole movie is like, the theme is like adventure, you know?
Yeah, go ahead. Keep reading.
Okay. The whole theme of this movie is like, Benjamin has these, like this spirit of adventure. And then he says, it's not about where an adventure ends, because that's not what an adventure is about.
Yeah, Jacob almost went to the bathroom with the mic. That's why we were laughing. But he like crept it, and it's just on the corner. That was funny.
Yeah, love that. So since he's doing this segment,
Yeah, I mean,
he's the leader.
yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, the quote was great. We also didn't highlight this, but earlier in the movie, a couple scenes ago, whenever Benjamin found the Spar logo or the Spar painting
Yes.
or drawing,
Yes,
he surprised Dylan the day after the fight that they had.
but that's the logo.
Like that's the
Yeah,
Rosemore Animal Park
Rosemore Animal Park. Yeah.
adventure.
Yes.
So
Yeah, adventure.
that was pretty cool.
Yeah, and then so like the people are coming in, and like they're waiting, and like no one's there, and then they go around the corner because they're like, why is no one here? And then there's the big tree that fell, and then it's like an endless like line of people, like way more
Yeah.
than they could have expected.
Yeah.
They run out of tickets. He smooches her in the ticket booth while they're
kisses
looking.
him.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, she kisses him, and
Yeah.
then he smooches her back, and then they're like, yeah,
Just can't get a handle on it.
can't get a handle on it.
That line makes too many reoccurrences.
It does, yeah, it does. So then they go on and have a pretty successful day. Home Depot lady shows up with her family, which was
So
cool.
does JB Smooth.
Yep, Mr.
Mr.
Stevens.
Also, the real Mee family is there.
That's what I.
Okay, so that's where they make that
They were
appearances
the
in the.
first. You can see the bald guy Benjamin like pretty vividly, but he's there with his son and his daughter,
Okay,
and they are the first people in line for the zoo.
Yeah, they're
that's cool.
So
That's
it's pretty
cool.
cool. And we also see this was cool. They're flying red kites. Which
Yeah.
was just the sweetest thing. You know,
I didn't catch that.
it all comes
Yeah.
back to Benjamin what he said about the
Yeah,
Pop Tarts and red kites. That's what
Yeah.
Catherine loved.
Mm.
So
yeah.
you know, Kelly was a part of that. She's like, this guy, I'll do it for him.
Yeah, one thing about though is like the big tree that fell in the path. I was like, why are they helping people over the tree and not just like, can they not just go around the tree?
Yeah, it was
You
confusing.
got to be able to go around it.
Because some of those people ain't making it over that tree.
Nope. And they even show a shot of a lady like falling back, but Dylan grabbed her arm. Fun fact.
Wild.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they would think. Just I don't know. Pick up the tree and move it.
Well, that tree was very
Oh, pretty big tree.
large. They could go around it for sure. Like
Yeah.
most
Yeah.
definitely.
But all right,
Yeah.
we really get the revelation like of this movie at this point. Like he did it. Benjamin Mee against all odds, like
Mhm.
against bankruptcy, against people turning on him, against like grief itself. He like still did it, and the music really plays a good tone in this. It's like
Mhm.
really whimsical and like you can just see as he's like looking, meeting people. It's like he's smiling like
Mhm.
big time, and it's really cool.
Yeah. And he's, I mean, in his mind, he's like, I'm not crazy at this point. I feel like up to this point, he's like, do I really need to be doing this?
Mm.
And then we reach the point of accomplishment, and he's happy. He's happy. We get a moment with Kelly and Big Ben. Kelly's got a big crush for Benjamin.
Yeah.
They share a kiss. They share a kiss.
Weird.
We were talking about that.
Oh, you.
She
oh,
just
yeah.
can't get a handle on it. I told him it makes too many references.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we get more creepy from Lily.
Yeah, this was weird.
This was a weird one. Now this is where they're on the bench, correct?
They're on the bench looking at the Mee family taking pictures.
Yes.
Her and Kelly.
And
Kelly Rose.
Lily,
Oh, yeah.
Lily asked Kelly, "Would you choose right now? Would you?" I mean, Lily has the worst questions.
Yeah.
Lily asked her, "Would you choose animals or humans?"
Yeah.
She
And
doesn't-
yeah, same. Oh yeah, that's true. But it's the last time we see Lily, so I'm okay with that. Ben takes the kids.
She's a 13-year-old girl, man.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, but come on. All right, that's the zoo. And then Benjamin takes the kids back to little Tommy's,
Little Doms.
little Dom's, and tells them how he and their mother met.
He's
Which-
back to telling stories again.
Yes.
Back to young stories.
And this is an important kind of scene that kind of sums up the whole theme of this movie, where he asks her, why would a guy or a girl like you ever talk to a guy like me? And she goes, why not?
Yeah.
And that's the theme of this whole movie is, why not?
Why not?
Why not? Yeah, that's good.
So why not? I thought it was last note, and then we can end. But when they address Catherine, does everyone see her? Because Rosie says hi, Bob.
Yeah.
Benjamin starts crying.
And
Dylan says something.
Yeah. Well, what they didn't show, but was in like the movie trivia that you can look up, is they took a bunch of group hallucinogens before, and so that's why they all saw her.
Is that real?
No, that's not real. It's a family movie.
Okay, it is a family movie, but I did read that in order to keep the PG rating, they had to take out a huge amount of cuss words and some spicy scenes.
Oh,
from this
really?
movie.
I
Yeah.
believe it. You have a 7-year-old calling a guy a dick. Which, there's a fun fact
That's
about
true.
that.
We're family friendly as well.
We'll believe
Yeah.
it.
But she really had an uncle, the actress, Rosie, Ella something,
Yeah.
has an uncle named Dick, and that's why she was so okay with saying it,
Mm-hmm.
because he was just calling him.
That's convenient.
Yeah.
That's pretty wild.
She was just saying her uncle's name.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But that's
good.
right.
Yeah.
We bought a zoo.
We bought a zoo. We bought a zoo.
Yeah. That was
Um,
good.
Yeah, I mean, this movie, it's a good movie. Yeah, it was like a really sad movie. Like, I wasn't
Yeah.
really, like, I watched it a couple years ago and I was like, yeah, it's really sad. And I watched it a couple days ago and I was like, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Like, any family who's gone through anything is going to be like crying over this movie.
Yeah.
So,
No, I'm with you. I think the theme really stuck out to me. Like the spirit of adventure is definitely like the thing, and I think like part of what I was thinking about was like, you know, like in this journey with grief, like the opening montage, which we talked about, was like he's like in all these places and he's doing all these things and he's like an adrenaline junkie and he's all this stuff, taking risks. And then like it's implied throughout that process of grief, like that spirit of adventure within him had kind of faded. Like, and I think that's what loss can do, is it can kind of dull like your ability to reconnect with life. And I think that that's what that spirit of adventure is able to do, is it reconnects us with life. And like, I think even like in that, like Benjamin's, because he kind of reclaims that through the zoo. And like, even when he tells Kelly, like Kelly has no, she's like, I have no life. Like I have no friends. And he kind of tells her like in that, and it's that same spirit, like with her, like kind of work obsession. Like he's like able to kind of invoke even to her, like, oh, like, you know, the spirit of adventure that like kind of overcomes that too, like where she begins to kind of take and experience life and not just kind of go through it and be burdened by it. But kind of like the last reflection I had about it was like, one is like the power of belief and the joy and teamwork. But then also like one of the big themes that is like that adventure without cost is empty. But when adventure happens when cost and sacrifice is a part of it. And I kind of thought of this quote that's like, I don't think I'm getting 100% right, but it's like, it is better to have loved and lost than to never have loved. Like that's actually a much more rich and fulfilling experience in life, is to have experienced it, lost it, than to just go through life without ever have taken that step or taken that risk. And so like kind of the final thought is like life becomes an adventure when there's risk. And so like risk of failure, risk of loss, all those things, like they stand in the way of life being an adventure. And so you have to have those things in tandem in order to feel its fullness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What makes it so rewarding, I think. Definitely.
My other thought that I just remembered was that if my wife ever dies, the way I'll get over it is buying a zoo and kissing Scarlett Johansson. So
Yeah.
just things to plan for, if the worst happens.
Yeah.
But
yeah. You and your daughter just buy a zoo.
We'll just buy a zoo.
Well, you'll probably have a son at that point.
We could recreate this movie. If that ever happens.
I'll play Duncan.
Yeah, we'll cast you all. Anyway.
Well, cool.
Yeah, I mean, great movie.
Great
What
movie.
movie should we do next?
Oh, I don't know.
Okay.
Did you pick? Are we doing?
I think we
Are
can
we group
popcorn
deciding?
whichever ones. Yeah, you guys are. You guys can choose.
Cool. I have no idea.
I got to think about that for
Me
sure.
too.
But
Sweet. Yeah, that is all I have as well.
That's
All
all
right.
right.
That's a wrap, fellas.
it's a
I
wrap.
think, we got to say it one more time.
What are we saying?
Sometimes all you need is 20 seconds of insane courage. And I promise you something great will happen.
For Benjamin Mee.
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon. Thank you guys for listening, for watching, hanging out with us. We'll be back next week.
Or